The Argo II, a flying Greek warship, cruised at a comfortable 3,000 feet. Its bronze hull gleamed in the sunlight, reflecting the vast expanse of the sky. The ship's magical sails billowed gently, catching the wind as it soared above the clouds, a marvel of ancient and modern engineering. Below, Iowa stretched out like a green and brown checkerboard. The fields were meticulously arranged, a testament to human ingenuity and hard work. From this height, the landscape looked serene and orderly, a stark contrast to the adventures the crew had faced. Inside, boredom had taken hold. The crew, once so full of energy and purpose, now found themselves listless and restless. The peace after the giant war had become, well, kinda dull. The excitement of battle and the thrill of quests had given way to a monotonous routine. The peace after the giant war had become, well, kinda dull. The once vibrant conversations had dwindled to mere murmurs, and the crew's activities had become repetitive. Even the most mundane tasks like cleaning the deck or checking the ship's instruments seemed to drag on forever.
I'm so bored I could sprout roots. Jason's voice echoed the sentiment of everyone on board. He leaned back in his chair, staring at the ceiling as if hoping for some divine intervention to break the monotony.
Leo groaned, fiddling with a bronze wrench. He had already fixed and refixed every part of the ship he could think of. His hands itched for a new project, something to challenge his skills and keep his mind occupied.
You and me both. Piper's agreement was immediate. She had tried to keep herself busy with her dagger practice and charm speak exercises, but even those had lost their appeal after a while.
Piper sighed, flipping a silver drachma like a coin. The coin spun in the air, catching the light before landing back in her palm. She had hoped for some sign, some message from the gods, but the drachma remained silent. Percy, ever the restless one, grinned. He had always thrived on action and adventure, and the current lull was driving him crazy. His sea-green eyes sparkled with mischief as he looked around at his friends.
Tell you what, guys, how about a little contest? Percy's voice cut through the silence, immediately grabbing everyone's attention. He had that look on his face, the one that usually meant trouble but also a lot of fun.
Annabeth raised an eyebrow. She knew Percy well enough to be wary of his ideas, but she was also intrigued. Anything was better than the endless boredom they were currently enduring.
A contest? For what exactly? Her curiosity got the better of her, and she couldn't help but ask. The rest of the crew leaned in, eager to hear Percy's proposal. To determine once and for all, who is the strongest demigod on this ship? Percy's grin widened as he spoke. The idea of a friendly competition sparked a new energy among the crew. They exchanged glances, their competitive spirits ignited.
A collective gasp filled the mess hall. Challenge accepted. The crew's boredom was instantly forgotten as they began to discuss the rules and challenges for their contest. The Argo II was about to become a battleground for the ultimate showdown. The deck of the Argo II became an arena. Percy naturally went first. He closed his eyes, concentrating. The air crackled with energy.
Behold,
he declared, pointing dramatically towards the empty sky. A gigantic holographic fist composed entirely of seawater materialized above the ship. It slammed down with a mighty crash, drenching everyone on deck.
Ha!
Percy laughed, shaking his head like a wet dog. You call that strong? I've flown through worse storms in my sleep. Jason scoffed, wiping salt water from his eyes. Annabeth stepped forward, her gray eyes gleaming. She pulled a small dusty book from her backpack.
What's that, Annie? Your diary?
Annabeth ignored him, flipping through the brittle pages.
Aha, found it.
She muttered a few words in ancient Greek. The Argo II shuddered, then began to transform. Wooden planks morphed into gleaming metal. Sails became solar panels. The entire ship, in a matter of seconds, had become a sleek, futuristic spaceship.
Introducing the Argo III.
Everyone stared in awe, except Leo, who looked like he might faint.
But my beautiful ship.
Leo wailed. Jason, tired of being upstage, stepped into the center of the deck. He raised his hands, palms open. Lightning crackled between his fingers.
All right, Sparky, don't blow up my ship.
Jason closed his eyes and concentrated. The air grew hot and heavy. Then, with a blinding flash and a deafening roar, a bolt of lightning shot from his hands. It struck a nearby cloud, which promptly dissolved into a light drizzle. Maybe I need to recharge? Piper stifled a laugh.
More like take a nap.
Piper, ever graceful, strolled onto the makeshift stage. She smiled, a dazzling, disarming smile that could melt glaciers. Or at least, that's what Leo always claimed.
Hey guys, can we just agree I'm the strongest and get some blue cookies?
Her voice washed over them, soothing, persuasive. Everyone blinked, momentarily mesmerized. Then Frank burped, loud and long. The spell was broken.
Nice try, Pipes. But you're going to need a bigger smile than that.
Leo, feeling a little left out, decided it was his turn. He had been watching from the sidelines for too long, and the itch to contribute was becoming unbearable. The team had been working tirelessly, and Leo felt it was time to show them what he could bring to the table. He had a plan. A grand idea that had been simmering in his mind for weeks. It was now or never. He scurried below deck, his heart pounding with excitement and a hint of nervousness. After a few moments he emerged, pushing a massive, clanking contraption that seemed to have a life of its own. The machine was a patchwork of metal and wires, a testament to Leo's ingenuity and resourcefulness. It was clear that he had spent countless hours piecing it together, and now it was time to unveil his creation to the world.
Feast your eyes on the LeoBot 3000, Leo announced with a flourish, his voice brimming with pride. He had always been a bit of a showman, and this was his moment to shine. The team gathered around, their curiosity piqued by the strange and wondrous machine before them.
The machine, cobbled together from spare parts and duct tape, shuddered and whirred uncertainly. It was a marvel of makeshift engineering, a testament to Leo's ability to turn the ordinary into the extraordinary. Despite its rough appearance, there was an undeniable charm to the LeoBot 3000. It was a symbol of creativity and determination, a reminder that even the most unlikely ideas could come to life with enough passion and effort. It had multiple arms, each ending in a different tool, and a giant rusty claw. The arms moved with a jerky mechanical grace, each one designed for a specific task. One arm held a wrench, another a screwdriver, and yet another a welding torch. The giant claw, though rusty, looked powerful enough to crush anything in its path. It was a machine built for versatility and strength, a true testament to Leo's vision.
This baby can crush a car, Leo boasted, his eyes gleaming with excitement. He had always been fascinated by machines and their potential for power and destruction. The LeoBot 3000 was the culmination of his dreams, a machine that could do it all. He imagined the possibilities, the ways in which his creation could change the world.
Leo patted the side of the machine affectionately. It was more than just a machine to him. It was a labor of love, a manifestation of his passion and creativity. He had poured his heart and soul into its creation, and now it stood before him, a testament to his hard work and determination. The team watched in awe, their respect for Leo growing with each passing moment. The LeoBot 3000 let out a series of alarming coughs and sputters, then promptly fell apart, scattering gears and sprockets across the deck. The team gasped in shock, their excitement turning to dismay. Leo's heart sank as he watched his creation crumble before his eyes. It was a devastating blow, a harsh reminder of the fragility of dreams. But even in the face of failure, Leo refused to give up.
Well, back to the drawing board, he said with a determined smile. Failure was just a stepping stone to success, and Leo was ready to try again. He knew that with each attempt, he was getting closer to his goal. The team rallied around him, their support unwavering. Together, they would rebuild the LeoBot 3000, stronger and better than before. The journey was far from over, and Leo was ready for the challenge.
Frank, usually quiet and unassuming, decided to let his actions speak louder than words. He had always been the kind of person who stayed in the background, never drawing attention to himself. But today was different. Today, he felt a surge of determination, a need to prove himself not just to others but to himself as well. He knew that deep inside him lay a power, a potential that had been dormant for too long. It was time to awaken the beast within. He took a deep breath, closed his eyes, and concentrated. The air around him seemed to thicken, charged with an electric energy. He could feel his heart pounding in his chest, each beat echoing in his ears like a drum. His mind cleared of all distractions, focusing solely on the transformation he was about to undergo. He visualized the change, every detail of it, from the tips of his fingers to the core of his being. He began to glow, his form shimmering and changing. The light enveloped him, growing brighter and more intense with each passing second. It was as if he was being consumed by a radiant fire, burning away his old self to reveal something new, something powerful. His skin tingled, and he could feel the transformation taking hold, reshaping him from the inside out. He grew taller, broader, his limbs elongating, Fur sprouted, claws extended, his muscles bulged, rippling under his skin as they expanded. His bones cracked and reformed, lengthening and thickening to support his new, massive frame. The fur that covered his body was thick and silver, shimmering in the light. His hands and feet transformed into powerful paws, each tipped with razor-sharp claws. He could feel the strength coursing through his veins, a primal power that was both exhilarating and terrifying. In seconds, he stood before them, a magnificent silver grizzly bear. His eyes, once human, now glowed with a fierce intelligence. He was no longer Frank, the quiet and unassuming man. He was a beast, a force of nature, ready to take on any challenge that came his way. The others stared in awe, unable to believe what they were seeing. This was the true Frank, the one who had been hidden away for so long. The bear roared, a deep rumbling sound that shook the ship. It was a roar of triumph, of power, of freedom. The sound reverberated through the air, sending shivers down the spines of those who heard it. It was a declaration, a statement that Frank was no longer the man they once knew. He was something more, something greater. The roar echoed, fading into the distance, leaving a stunned silence in its wake. Then it promptly tripped over Leo's discarded wrench and tumbled head over heels, ending up in a heap at Hazel's feet. The majestic transformation was abruptly cut short by the clumsy fall, and the once awe-inspiring beast now lay in a tangled mess of fur and limbs. The others couldn't help but laugh, the tension of the moment broken by the unexpected turn of events. Frank, now a bear, looked up sheepishly, his eyes still glowing but now with a hint of embarrassment.
Nice try, Frank. Hazel's voice was gentle, filled with warmth and encouragement. She knew how hard Frank had worked to reach this point, and despite the mishap, she was proud of him. She gave him a thumbs up, her smile reassuring. It was a small gesture, but it meant the world to Frank. It was a reminder that even in failure there was support and understanding.
Hazel patted the bear's head sympathetically. She knew that this was just the beginning for Frank. There would be more challenges, more transformations, and more moments of triumph and failure. But through it all, he would have his friends by his side, supporting him every step of the way. And in that moment, as she patted his head, she knew that Frank would rise again, stronger and more determined than ever.